Hi there, my name's Chris Page. I've got a short video here which is trying to highlight maybe something different in terms of tutorials on how to achieve a good mix. I've entered the digital world quite late and with a lot of catching up to do. Lots of books, reading, magazines, internet, practical sessions, trial and error, etc. And there's so much about gear and technique, etc. But what I've done here is maybe look at sort of 5 key points in terms of mindset and approach to achieving a finished song that you're proud of and other people will want to listen to, which is what we want to achieve, of course, in the end. None of these will involve a purchase. I guess I talk about automation, but that becomes part of your DAW. So it's just an approach and a thinking behind achieving a finished product. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you. So first one is a phrase you might have heard before, but to me it's really very applicable to music production, and that is finished is better than perfect. I, like yourself, have probably got lots of ideas, projects, songs, performances, all hanging around on discs and USBs, etc, etc, but no one will get to hear them. And the only way people will get to hear your performances is that you've got a finished product that you're proud of and you're happy with. So finished is better than perfect. You won't achieve perfection, so work quickly. It's a numbers game. The more songs you've got out there finished and people listening to, the better, and the more chance of achieving something you'll have. On from finished is better than perfect, or finished is better than unfinished, is make decisions as you go. We know there are so many options. If you've got an 80-track build of a song where we have to do the EQ, the dynamics, the effects, the levels, all at the end. My advice, which I try to follow now, is for the supporting tracks, try to work quite quickly and get the sound you're wanting quite quickly, very early on, and then print or freeze. And then that will allow you to have less decisions later on and really focusing on your key tracks such as vocals, which I'll come on to now. Okay, vocal, the most important track. We know that in most modern music. I think we all recognise that. If you don't get a good vocal performance, recording, or sitting in the mix well, then you don't have a good overall performance or song or production. However, I use automation more and more. Rather than using processors and other forms of let's say effects that change the signal, I tend to use automation not just for volume changes. I use it for dynamics, so flowing from verse into chorus, into breakdowns, etc. I also use it for de-essing, so I never use a de-esser, so the sibilance in the song I control with bringing the automation down just where needed. EQ, automating EQ, automating reverb, so that really changing the dynamics of the song as you go, but just by using automation. Delay, effects, etc. So automation is in your DAW, it doesn't cost you anything, so it's your friend, use it. So one specific point about reverb as an effect. We all use reverb on multiple tracks, different levels, etc., different types of reverb. What I've found, and this is something, whether it's peculiar to me, I don't know, but I've not seen it written down so much, or other people have showed me here. It's very easy to take a sound, add reverb to it, nice stereo reverb, get it sounding really good. But if you do that on multiple tracks, you tend to get this sort of splash and smear of reverb right across your stereo field, left to right or right to left. It then becomes mushy in terms of your panning. What I tend to use now is a lot more mono reverb. So I'm not saying don't use reverb, I mean that's your choice, but if you try mono reverb, then you can make the reverb sit with the original signal much better, and then you get your instrumentation and your vocals and etc. sitting in nice distinct places within your mix rather than smeared across the whole mix. Give it a go, it works really well for me. And lastly, I certainly believe there is no silver bullet out there. In other words, there is nothing that you can apply to a track or a mix that turns it from okay to outstanding. To me, it's more about incremental gains. So lots of incremental gains then give you an outstanding track. So, you know, take each track, work quickly, and I always say work quickly, but try to achieve the best on each track, but also do it in context with the other tracks. But don't spend ages and ages trying to achieve something that takes away from the rest of the song. And then incrementally try to improve your... So no silver bullet. I really believe that there isn't a silver bullet. Certainly I've not seen one as in terms of the digital world of producing music. I certainly have never had a reasonable track that's become a great track just by adding a plug-in or making a change or doing some side chaining effect or whatever. To me it comes from an approach, but also working quickly, but also a methodology of incremental gains. So everything you do to improve each track, each sound, will go up to improving your whole performance and the dynamic and the finished product. So still work quickly, but look to make incremental gains on all your tracks to make up your overall master mix. Okay, so summary then. I've gone through it quite quickly. I hope it makes sense, and I hope maybe you might utilise some of this thinking in any of your mixes, etc. I've learnt it through my personal journey to produce music. So it's not about, as I'm saying, the number of plugins or the bit rate you use. It's about an approach to working. And certainly the one I would say most is make sure you finish. Work quickly and finish your songs. It's a numbers game out there, and the more songs you've got out there, the more chance that people will hear them. And as an example, I've been working with a great young female singer called Heather Merrin. I've written a song called Hold Me Close, which she's done the vocal on. And that would be a reference, I guess, for some of the techniques that I've gone through here, and the 5 points, I guess, which I've utilised on this song. So hope you like the song. I hope the video is of some use.